Hi, thank you for joining today's session on conditional formatting. I hope that you have enjoyed the session and learned a few tricks as well. I provided in this YouTube channel the whole 1 hour of our session, and I also provide a shorter version for your easy reference or quick reference. Hope that you can share this video with others and others onto others so that we can all learn together. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, good morning. I believe I shall change back the virtual background to none. Means that we are ready to begin. So how many we have so far? We have 24, excluding Pauline and her staff. I think we have about 20 to 21 participants for today's session. So as you can see, the session is being recorded, and the reason is we'll be posting this to the YouTube channel, the Performance Insight YouTube channel, and also my channel, so that you can have reference in case if you'd like to know or learn back whatever that we have shared in today's session. So are we ready? So can I have a raise of hands? Cool. So I believe all of you have got a copy of that exercise files, yeah? Okay, another one. For those who have learned about, knows about conditional formatting, can you show a thumbs up? And for those who are not, can you show raise of hands? Just a quick one. Siapa belum? Intan Zulkifli sudah. Roshida sudah. Lei Hong Tong, yes. Cool. Oh, Matahari Musa, okay. Today will be your first time, yeah? Okay, so what we're going to do today is, I'm going to share with you what conditional formatting is. We're going to go from the very root of it, and slowly we go step by step to know what else that we can do with this conditional formatting. Yeah? So basically, we're going to do about data cleansing, to know about data. Yeah? Working conditional formatting, collaborations. Yeah. So the chat is on. You can always chat and ask questions during the session. So let's see. I can share the link for the files again. I just joined. Okay, so this is the first data. All right. Now, before we begin, just to make sense about whatever that I'm going to share with you guys today, we need to know some of the basics of Excel. Just to have look and feel and much more control. First, how many is the number of rows and columns you have in Excel? How many rows and columns do you have in Excel? Anyone who can answer? Yes, no, not sure, not sure. Oh, When I press Control key and press the right arrow key, I should arrive at the end of the column. So as you can see, it's XFD, and XFD is 16,384. And when I press Control and down arrow key, I should be reaching the last row in Excel, which is 1048576. Means that in Excel we have more than 1.04 million. So that's how huge Excel is. Yeah. So why I leave this blank is just to share some of the quick basic on Excel. So this is called a cursor. That is a cursor. This is an active cell, because later I'll be using terms. So hopefully when I mention about all these terms, you know what it is. So when I double click, see this blinking line, this one, that is called as an insertion point. This area is called as a ribbon. These are called tabs. The number below here called groups, and every single button is called a command button. All right. So when I apply this formula, when I multiply these two and I press enter, you know that you can double click yes. So what do you call this button? What do you call this? This is called the fill handle. So I can double click. Okay. So why conditional formatting? First, how to apply the conditional formatting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select total. I select semua total. Okay. Then I go to conditional formatting. See this color scale? This is what conditional formatting is do. Notice that whenever you create a report for your boss, whenever you do an analysis, the boss will always ask about values. It is always about values. Yeah. But basically, when you ask about values, you tend to sort, tend to filter, and to get that result that you think that he or she wanted. But actually, if he or she were to look at the whole database, yeah, like this for instance, what they can see is not just colors, they can also see trend. So for instance, when I select this just now, and I go to conditional formatting, I go to color scales, see this? The varieties that Excel 2016 and above gives you. So you can see if this one is red, yellow, and also green, means the bigger the value, the more red it will become. The smaller the value, more greens it will become. So anything in between will be either orange or even yellow. Okay. So how can you relate these two values? For instance, if this is about depth. So how many people that have not paid the company, or those people who owe the company? So when the boss looks at this data, if he or she sees more red, I think their face will look red as well. Yeah. Because they know that there's a lot of people not paid the money back to the company. If they see more green, then that's a good sign that most people are paying. Same goes if I were to select this one. Green, yellow, and
頭先老豆阿媽喺出邊度入搬入嚟。
so when I do that, the more green it becomes, means the bigger the value. The smaller, the more red becomes, the smaller the value becomes. It is, sorry. Then, sorry. As for this one, conditional formatting, if I were to use color scale, if the boss doesn't really know what Excel conditional formatting is all about, if he or she were to see this, I believe they know what it is. It means that shows the bar chart, the trend. The bigger the value, the longer the bar becomes. The shorter means the smaller the value. And this is real time. Means that if I want to change this one to 40,000 plus, it becomes longer. So now it becomes automatic. Same goes on this side. If I want to select that one as well. See, I can also add in other rules. I could put in traffic lights. This is conditional formatting. This is how conditional formatting can assist you in doing your work. And a part of that, it can also assist you. Let's say if you like to find data. For instance, on this one, look at zone. If I were to ask you, how many types are there at zone? Basically, we will say 4. Why do you say 4? Because it shows 4 there, see that? Yeah, it shows 4. But is it really 4? Are you sure? See, how can we test this? How can we test this? See, in Excel, there's this feature. Look, when I press alternate and down arrow key, it can actually shows me the data. The varieties. See, when I do this, there are 3 types of west, east, sorry. There, 2 types of north, 2 types of south, and there's 1 west. What does that mean? It means that there's something wrong with the data. How can we prove that? We can prove it by using conditional formatting. Yeah. Number 1, can select like that, and I go to, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole database. And I go to conditional formatting. See duplicate values? See that? Then you know there's something wrong with this data. Something is not right. So what you can do, you can just check. So for instance, let me go to this south and I double click. See that? There's a space there. So when I remove that space, then you know something is going like this. You're getting the right answer. For instance, instead of north and ORTH, the data has been typed wrongly as NOTRH. So what I need to do is change that back. This one as well. And this one as well. Oh, there are 2 space bars in it. So when I remove that, done. And in case you don't need this anymore, so what you need to remove it, you have just select that area, then you go to clear rules and select from selected cells. That's it. You're done. So that's what you can do with conditional formatting. What if you want to make this to look like a report? So for instance, what I'm going to do is I am going to combine a data, let's say if I were to put here zone and I type here north. If I wanted to use this as a reference, it's how you collaborate functions, other functions with conditional formatting. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to go to home, go to conditional formatting. See this? Equal to, and I click at that north. See what happened? See that? All the nodes are selected. When I press OK, so when I go here and change this one to south, for instance, it changes automatically. Same goes to east and also to west, sorry. But how do I apply it to the rest of the rows here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this first. Clear rows, selected. I am going to select this area, like so. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to select conditional formatting, and now I select new row. Under new row, I'm going to select use a formula to determine which cells to format. I hope your basic formula skills is up to par. I hope you know what that $ means in formulas, because it is very useful when you want to apply this example. So I'm going to select if this one, say I'm selecting $I, $3 equal to, select the first cell right after the title, like so. So I'm going to select format, and I'm going to select fill, and select any color you want. For instance, if I have to select this blue, and I press OK. And as you can see, nothing happens. But when I change this one to West, like so, it changes color. But that is not the kind of result that we want. So what I'm going to do here now is, I'm going to remove this and do that again. New rule. Select this cell, equals to, select the first cell right after the title. But now I'm removing the $ for the row. When I select the same blue color, when I press OK and OK again, voila. See that? It selects all the West, one whole line. It goes across few columns. Same goes when I change this one to East, and I change this one to North and South. If you feel that I'm going too fast, you can just raise your hand or slow down a little bit. Yeah? So I would like to upgrade this further. So what I'm going to do, instead of typing north, south, east, and west, I am going to collaborate this with another function. So what I'm going to do here is, from this cell in I3, I'm going to go to data. See this? This is called data validation. I select data validation. At settings, I go to allow and select lists. And in the source, I type north, comma, south, comma, east, comma, west. So when I press OK, see this drop down button? So instead of typing, you can just select. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to add in a filter in Excel. So how do you create filter? There's so many ways on how you can apply filter to a database. Yeah, multiple ways. In my usual classes, I'll give the full range, but in this case, I'll give a simple one. So in the database concept, please bear in mind, please do not have a blank rows and blank columns like this one. No blank rows, no blank column. Massage your data. Why? Because when you don't have that, you're gonna work in a very fast way with Excel. Increase your speed tremendously. Okay? It helps a lot. It helps a lot. So for instance, if I look to apply filter, I can just do this. Click at one cell from my database, I go to data and click filter. Done. Not like other people, they will select like that, they will do this, and some will do that, or even to select the whole database like so, just to apply filter. When all your database are connected, rows and columns, just click at one cell, filter, done. And starting from version 2007 and above, conditional formatting works tremendously well with filter, conditional formatting. Why? Because now you can even filter by color. This is what you want. It's easy, super easy. In the older version, you can only have a maximum of 3 rows per cell. But starting from 2007, you have more options, varieties of conditional formattings, and you can even put multiple rows in one cell, more than 3. Most books says a lot, but I've come across one journal where I read says per cell is 15,000. So that is how you collaborate conditional formatting with filter and also data validation. Now, I have another sample of data which is exactly the same in terms of location. Yeah? So it means that this is from B2, this is also from B2. But before that, let's go to this row 1 and row 2. I want to show you something before we come back to sample data. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this formula. It's start, row, open and close bracket. So when I apply that, Excel will return true. I do that again. Equal is odd, row, open, close, and close. So when I press enter, if the row is an odd number or even number, it will return either true or false, like so. What does row means? If I were to type equals row, like so, and press enter, it tells me the row. What we're trying to manipulate is actually the value here for the rows to get that true or false. You can even use is even. You have something quite opposite. So why am I showing you all this? See, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to manipulate this formula. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select the whole worksheet. Selecting conditional formatting. I'm going to select new rule, that formula, like so. Then I go to format and I select, say, this color, this green color. When I press OK and then press OK again, see that? Color the whole cell across the whole worksheet. Cool, huh? So this is the magic that I would like to share with you. So this is what I want to do. I have another set here, blank. Yeah, row 1, row 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collaborate this conditional formatting with a thing called group. So how do you group worksheets? There are 2 ways. One, you can either press shift or you can also press control. If your worksheets are adjacent, so means like right after another, then you can press shift from the first worksheet and the end worksheet, and it will automatically select everything in between. For instance, if I were to select January, if I were to have like 12 worksheets from January to December, I select January and I press shift and I click at December, automatically it will include all the worksheets from February up to November as well. However, if I were to press January and press control and I select December, we'll only select that 2 worksheets. Clear? So I'm going to do, I press row 1, I press shift, and I click at row 2. Okay. I select the whole worksheet, and I go to home. See this? Across worksheet. When I click at format and I press OK, now I have to ungroup the sheets. So when I do that, let's see what happened at row 2. Ta-da! It automatically applies to the other worksheets as well. In order for you to do something like this, please make sure that all your worksheets are consistent. So that's why the method that you apply, for instance, if you want to have the same content of data in a different worksheet, the same format of data in a different worksheet, please do not select the area to copy and paste. Please do not do that. What you should do is at least select the whole worksheet, copy and paste, because the only place that you can paste is only one cell, which is A1, to secure the location of your data. The cell location is very important. Or use move for copy. Or if you want to have better skills, you can always select that worksheet at the sheet tab, click and hold, press Ctrl and drag to the new location of that. When you release the mouse, it will automatically make a copy, just like move for copy. Just to make sure that all your worksheets are aligned and consistent. Coming back to this sample data and sample data 2. See, both locations are the same, but the values are not. The values are not. So what I'm going to do here now is, I would like to apply the same rules to here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select sample data 1. I press Ctrl now, this time around, and I click at sample data 2. And I select add quantity, just like so. So what I do is, I go to Home tab, under Editing Group, I select Across Worksheet, I select Format, and then I press OK. So when I ungroup worksheets, let's see what happened to sample data 2. Voila. Just like magic, huh? You can do the same thing for all the areas that come with the conditional formatting. So let me redo that for you. I'm going to select this area. I'm going to clear the rows. This time around, I'm going to select the whole database. Control, select this whole area, fill, across worksheet.
Saiful,
Yes.
you have a question from Intan.
Okay. I'll come back to that. Let me finish this one first. So after I've selected format and then I press OK, and I ungroup the worksheet. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, it only applies for this one. Oh, because I don't have this one, sorry. I don't have the zoom, so I have to apply that first. Yes, let me see. Chat from. Okay, some questions here. What should be the value in the conditional applies to for the is art row? Okay, so when I leave it blank, by default, it will look for true. It will look for true. unless you are looking for a specific type, for instance, false, right? So you can put in is odd row close bracket equals false. Hope that answered the question. Okay, let me insert a new one. Equal is odd row right. When I go to here, manage rules or new rules, this is the one, and I type in is odd yes, we can go to the manage rule instead. Yes. So you can, if you want to go here, if you select new rules, you can go to the new rules. It's the same thing. Okay, that applies to is actually the whole area, the whole database, in this case. My default value is just column A. Sure, no problem. It works as well. Okay, done. Any other questions? Okay, next. For this one, I purposely have this value to be random, so it will keep on changing. Why? Because of the formula. So when I update the formula, it will keep on changing. So how do we update? We press F9, yeah, just to see the effect of the data. So what I'm going to do here now is I have a data from January to December for North, South, East, and West. So I'm going to do is I'm going to select the whole database. I'm going to select conditional formatting. So instead of selecting the whole column just now, I'm selecting color scales from this whole set of data from January, as from North to West, from January to December. So when I do that, you can see that kind of result. See that? So it goes across that whole database. It reads from the data. So when update, you can see the whole data. Changes, that's when the data changes. Let's have another copy of this. This time around, I'm going to clear. You can select it here even. I'm going to select from one type, clear. So how do I apply the same rules across the other column? So what you can do is you can just select one, just one cell. Then use this. This time around, I'm going to use format painter. So when I click that and drag that like so, see, it is now applied to other columns. Same goes here and here. Yes, you can also apply double click to click and have that form painter applied to all the other columns, and then you can always press escape to release. So this is what you can do. So see the difference with this one, sorry. These two times. This is by column. This is for the whole database. This is for each and every individual type. Okay. Let's have another type. For instance, let's clear this. I have another copy of this, and I click selected. I select this time around. I put top 3 using green and bottom 3 for pink. Bear in mind, you can always change to any other color that you prefer by going to custom format. You can choose any other color if you want. Okay? But I'm using the standard ones. So when I press OK, sorry, select that. Bottom 3. So to apply this to the rest of the columns, I'm going to do this. Escape. And you can also combine this kind of data with a chart. For instance, if I were to select this one, lightning markers. You can customize the chart the way you want, any type you want. So let's see if I were to type here, press chart. Oops, sorry. You can even customize it, like so. Now it becomes a report. So as when the data changes, the chart starts to change, and also the conditional formatting starts to work. Same goes if I were to select this one. Let me release this one. I redo that, but now it's for the whole database. So I'm going to select that. So from this selection, I'm going to set the top and bottom across. This time around, I would like to use the color, the custom color. Let's say bold font color white. Or even bottom 3 with a different sets of colors. You can put in fill effects if you want. Font color black. You can put the chart sign. Sorry, you can put the title as well. Okay. For each type, for each month. Okay. Sorry. So now the boss knows which one is the highest between 4 different regions and based on months as well. Oh, question from Le Hun Tong. Now, I still have this formula, Mr. Lei or Miss Lei. Yeah. So how the data changes is I update the formula. So what I did, I press F9, function 9. So when I press F9, the data will keep on updating. It's because of the formula. But in real situation, you don't have this data keeps on jumping here and there. You know? You're gonna have the real data. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Now I have this data sample. They come with a month. As you can see, the month is not sorted. I'm going to give you one tip. The advantage of not having a blank rows and blank columns in your database. Like I mentioned just now, you're going to get super speed. Before we begin about this one. So I'm going to sort this one first. So how do you sort this? How quick can it be? So just a few seconds. Few seconds. Look, select one cell, go to data, done. Just one cell. So what I'm going to do now is, I would like to check whether we have enough stock or not. After sorting all this, we have enough stock or not. So I'm going to do here, I'm going to collaborate this with another formula for north, south, east, and west. So if I would like to know the total stock in for north and the total stock out for north, I need to use a formula called count if, so sum if. And to get the number is sum if. Is count if. The total for stock in and stock out is called sum if. So let me show you an example. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So how do we get the total of that? I'm going to use a formula called sum if. Select at fx. Range. Okay, sorry. This should be region. Much more appropriate. Equal again sum if. Range is the region, the whole set. Criteria, I am looking for north. Sum range is the stock in. You don't have to select the whole set. Just select the one at the top, like this one. Then press OK. See that 3541? That is the total for north. You don't have to use filter or even format as table to get this total or using subtotal. You can just use the formula. Again, I'm going to repeat this for stock out. Equal sum if fx range criteria north sum range is the stock out. So this is for north. Can I drag this one down? Yes and no. Yes, because you can use the fill handle. No, because it will select the wrong range. As you can see, this one moves down. See that? This is wrong. So what you should do is you have to lock it. So in this case, look at the color. Don't look at the range. Excel gives you color as indicator on what you are using in the formula. So in this case, I'm selected this one. So actually, you don't have to select the whole thing. So you want to lock this one? Yeah. Just do that. What's the shortcut again? It's F4. And the purple one is F4. Same goes on this one. absolute reference. And now I double click. As you can see, now it's referring to the right location. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see whether we are running out of stock or not. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to minus that. So if you worry about this data keeps on changing, what you can do is you can just select the whole data, copy and paste value. Okay, so now we have positive and negative value. Means this one is running out of stock. So what you can do here is you can use if this one is less than 0, you can say please order, or else it's whenever you type a single formula in a cell, you don't have to close bracket. Why? Because Excel will give it to you for free. And so now we have this, right? Have you seen a lot of people that they create formulas that looks very fancy, a lot of formulas, looks very complicated? Well, actually you can do the same thing with this one. Yeah. So what you do is, you know that this one comes from there, this one is minus that one. So what you can do is, you can just copy the formula. Yeah. To replace that, I put a bracket there, I press Ctrl V, like so. It makes no difference. So now you have your OK and order, and now I'm no longer relying on this cell. I can delete this, so we can have lesser columns. So what you can do with this one is that you can either put a conditional formatting from here equal to, or text that contains. Let's say for this one, I'm going to select order. As long as it contains order, it will automatically change the color. Or if I'm looking for anything with the word OK, so let's say this one, I'm going to change this one to green. And from the same set, this one is pink color. Okay. So if you already have 3 east, 2 north, and 2 south, well, it depends. See, that's why before you work with Excel, you have to do a lot of data mixing. Please check your data before you start typing. Or else, actually, there's another way on how you can counter this problem. Yeah, if you notice that there's something wrong with the data, for instance, now let me answer your question like this: equal sum if, sorry, count if. If I want to select the whole database, comma, north, we have 6 here. But now, let's say this is wrongly typed, got spacebar, and I have another north, with 2 spacebar. It doesn't add up. Why? Excel doesn't understand what that one is. Okay? Because when we check, we have variations of north. So what we can do is, in your formula, in this case, whenever you type in the type, you put this sign, the asterisk. Means that whatever comes after the word north will be assumed as north. So when I press OK, it will add up. The same rules applies if you would do sum if. So in your criteria, instead of just selecting that one cell, you have to type the type. I hope that answered the question. In case, let me add just a little bit. If you fear that you might have a data that comes with a space bar before the type, so you can even put it this way, asterisk before the type. So it means that Excel will look for whatever type. As long as it finds that type, then it will assume as the same type of north. So in this case, if I were to have like blah 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 and then north, that will still be north. Yeah. Okay. So when I change this one to this, it no longer belongs to that type. Okay. So I'm going to keep this just in case you want to have a copy of this. Take a quick snapshot or print screen for your reference. Any other questions? Oh, this one will also work if you to place this in a different worksheet. So place this in a different worksheet, apply that same formula, and the conditional formatting still works the same way. You can even type the sum if formula, checking this one in the conditional formatting. Yeah? If you're familiar with and or, it still works the same way, as long as it returns true or false. Find whichever way, type of value that will return true or false. Can you show again how to create the drop-down button list, the north, south, east, and west? Okay, sure. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 ways on how to do this. Yeah. Number one, so I'm going to select these 2 types. Yeah? I'm going to color the 2 cells so that you know which one I'm talking about. I'm going to set this one to yellow. So, method 1, select from the cell, I go to data, I go to data validation. Under settings, I put in list. Here, I type north, comma, south, comma, east, comma, and also west. So when I press OK, or let's say you already have a list. So you can even do it this way. So from this cell, under settings, allow list source, I'm selecting these 4 types, excluding the type. So let me change this one to region as well. Sorry. So what is the difference between these two methods? Actually, I don't really prefer for you to type the types here at the source. I prefer for you to select. Why? See, when I type is wrongly, like this one, I accidentally add in a spacebar and I press enter. It shows an error. See, it will not allow me until I type in the same type as what is listed. Spacebar will not allow. However, as when I type in the type, the spacebar, it will still accept. So that's why I prefer for you not to type actually. Select the type is much more secure. Okay, Lei Hun Tong, thank you very much. Can we use asterisk for columns or row example? No. Not Fazlina, no. Because usually whenever you put in asterisk, it's either for a formula means it's multiplication. If it is not, Excel will assume that it is a text. Okay, Fazlina, thank you. Any other questions? If there is no more questions, I would like to end the session for today. Thank you for joining. Stay in, stay safe. Pauline? Yes, Pauline. You can get this video in the Performance Insight YouTube channel. They have the whole video for today. Yes, and please fill up the evaluation form as well. Thank you. We can also have a short cut of this video, which I will post in my YouTube channel. You go to SifooTime. So when you follow Performance Insight, I'll be following them as well. But give me some time to edit the video, yeah? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karen, Amanina, Siti Haja, Yus, Fazila, Siti Nur Amira, Christine, Intan Zulkifli, Haryati. Thank you. Encik Mat Tahir. Thank you, everyone. Roshida, Nur Elina Ishaq. Thank you. Thanks, Pauline. Thank you, Cikgu. Waalaikumsalam. Cik Fadil Nodan, terima kasih. Waalaikumsalam. Tam Yong Chung, thank you. Thank you for joining, everyone. Stay home, stay safe.